Well, it's one a lot of people have asked me in the last few days since the Brighton game, and the only reason you can look at it is because Newcastle United will feel they've spent a lot of money. Spent a lot of money to bring in Steve Bruce in compensation. Spent a lot of money, paying him and also his staff. And I just think that Mike Ashley now knows that he doesn't want to spend any more money, and he may be looking at the league table from afar and thinking, oh well, we're not doing too bad. We're fourth bottom. We've got a game in hand. But those looking a little bit more closer can see Newcastle in a real relegation tussle. So that for me, makes it a huge gamble. And Steve Bruce, did not look like a man who had control of the team from the performance that I watched the other night down in Brighton. And they now go into a tough game against Tottenham, and I'd love to be proved wrong. I'd love them to go out there and get the result and get the win. But overall, I think it was so far short against Brighton, and realistically now it is looking like it's touch and go to stay up. They need 3 or 4 wins from 9. I'm just not sure where they're going to get them and how the players are going to get that motivation to do it. But we'll see. A week on Sunday still feels like a long way away, but for Steve Bruce, he gets yet another chance to get it right at St James's Park. Well, the takeover, as ever, it's ongoing. We've heard that so many times. There still doesn't appear to be a date in the diary for when this sort of arbitration battle gets underway for Newcastle. But the other thing that's sort of on the horizon is if Newcastle are relegated, then this goes to the EFL and they have their own owners and directors test. So effectively, they would be starting the whole process from square one again, and it would be AFL chiefs who would decide whether the takeover goes through. And the asking price would also come into it. Mike Ashley's not going to get the money that he wants, but overall it's going to be an AFL decision. And from their point of view, their test, from what I'm led to believe, is it's very similar to the Premier League one. So whether we get a different outcome, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, more uncertainty on the takeover front, and that's got to be a concern for fans who want to see some change. Yeah, I mean, Callum Wilson is back on the training field. Newcastle hope to get him up and running, hopefully for that Tottenham game, and his return would give everyone a huge lift. But they obviously would need to get the service right for him, which is what they've failed to do a few times this season. But certainly just the sight of him back on the pitch, and obviously Alan St-Maximin as well, it would just give Newcastle a huge lift going into those last 9 games. I think really, had they been on the pitch at Brighton, I don't know, would it have made much of a difference? With the body language of the players, everyone just seemed to resigned to a flat defeat, and they would just look like they were hanging on for the draw in the first half, the way they played, and just hoping something fell for them, which it didn't. And Brighton were just up for the game. Kieran Clark since made a statement in the Ireland camp that Newcastle, for some reason, they weren't up for it, which is that makes me quite alarmed as a football observer. And going in this game, hopefully the main men, people like Callum Wilson, can lift the team and just get that message across that this is it now. The battle's on to stay up, and Newcastle will need, as I say, to get the ball to the feet of Wilson, get it in and around those areas, and hopefully that will help them, get what will be a massive result against Tottenham. That's wishful thinking, though. They've got to, put that into practice on the training field and then go out and do it on the big stage at St James's Park.